Well, good, and thank y'all for all watching and staying tuned in to the Also Live channel. And now that you're finally here, now that y'all really done clicked on this video, y'all really done walked into these great vibes, and those that function with me on the daily, they already know that my vibe really attracts my tribe, and those that function with me, y'all already know how we gonna ride, how we gonna slide, point blank period. We are pulling up, popping out, and no, we do not have nothing to talk about. That way, that part. I am also legit. I am also authentic. I am also outspoken for this little YouTube thing. And those that function with me on the daily already know that we connected just like Wi-Fi, baby. Just like Wi-Fi. So with that being said, if you didn't know, you finna find out why I aspire to inspire before I expire, in the words of a great man. So I'm gonna just let that be known, let that be said. I not only attract love, I am love. Now, as those that has been sticking and staying tuned into my channel, you know what I'm saying, monthly, daily, weekly, y'all really know my goal is really to just be the person that just seeks truth and seeks righteousness. And not only do I seek it for myself, I'm trying to make sure that those that I care about get the same knowledge that I'm learning, so we can walk together. So what do? I find more information. Now I really want y'all to know there's an agenda that has to be fulfilled by certain individuals. And I'm not really going to do too much, but the Substantial Development Group of 2021, yet and 2030, is something worth knowing about. There's a lot of people who's been exposing it, so I wanted y'all to hear it from the mouth of the horse, in a sense. I wanted y'all to take this into thought and know that we have to be ready. So I got a special guest, Rosa Koire, and I'm going to let her do her thing. I'm not really going to do too much talking. We're going to watch it, and I'm going to get my views here and out, but I really want y'all to just listen. Listen very closely. Knowledge speaks, wisdom listen. And that's how we rocking.
I'm Rosa Koire, and I'm from the United States, California.
Shout out you.
And my topic, what I speak about, is one of the most vitally important issues of our age, and that is United Nations Agenda 21, Sustainable Development. And as I'll be talking about tomorrow, it is the inventory and control plan. Inventory and control of all land, all water, all minerals, all plants, all animals, all construction, all means of production, all food, all energy, all information, and all human beings in the world.
And all human beings. Now, what she finna go over is something that's really gonna be a hard pill for those to swallow. But if you're really ready to swallow that gold pill of knowledge, please get a pen and paper and take notes, because it's going to be something crazy.
And this is a plan that was agreed to by 179 nations back in 1992. It's a United Nations plan. It's called the Agenda for the 21st Century.
Okay.
And so many of us around the world think that, well, sustainable development, it just sounds so great. Isn't it about recycling and creative reuse and...
Isn't it what it's about? That's how they really want us to make it seem. And I actually have the 2030 SDG. We're going to go over that too. But right now, I just want y'all to understand. She finna tell y'all something great.
And creating energy and food resources for everyone. And the answer is no.
No.
It really is not.
It's not.
It's about moving populations into city centers, concentrated city centers, and clearing them out of the rural areas.
You heard what she said, right?
So I found out about it in a very unusual way, actually.
How you found out about it?
Because,
let us know.
I spent my career as a legal witness, as an expert witness for the California Department of Transportation.
For the California Department of Transportation, y'all. And those that don't know, I do got to pause it just because I'm not trying to get no copyright strikes nor claims. So with that being said, I gotta make it where it's, balanced. Y'all gotta hear some of my commentary, and I'm gonna let her do her thing as well. I'm just letting y'all know for those that need to know.
I'm an expert in land use and land valuation, and my specialty is in eminent domain valuation. So, of course, I was valuing property for the government so that the government could acquire that property for road projects. And what I found about 10 years ago, or 10 or 13 years ago, was that land actually, it was very difficult to say what it was worth because you couldn't know what people could do with it.
It was I like how she just put that. I like that. I like that part. That's something right there that I'm actually have to go run this back and take a note of. I like that.
Because they were being restricted from using their property. And as I explored that and found that it wasn't just in the San Francisco Bay Area where I was working, it was in fact all across the nation and the world, I looked behind that and I found United Nations Agenda 21, Sustainable Development. We created the Post-Sustainability Institute in order to educate people about the economic, social, political, and environmental impacts of communitarianism on the world. And communitarianism is that concept, that social and political construct that says that the individual's rights should be balanced against the rights of the community. And of
that's something right there. That's a fact right there. I like that. I need to write that down.
Of course, the community is that amorphous, undefined community that we, when we talk about community, we think we're, of course, part of it and that, it's a positive thing. But really, community is constructed. It's constructed of non-governmental organizations, corporations, and government in order to dictate and regulate what it is that happens around the world. And we, as individuals, have literally no influence on that unless we are in agreement with it.
Unless we are in agreement with it. She deserve a pat on the back and a round of applause. Shout out this woman right here.
Against the community, against communitarian law or against communitarian social tactics, you're rejected and basically made an outcast. And that is something that we wanted to expose to the world. And the reason that we created the Post-Sustainability Institute was in order to sue. We sued our local government, and right now we're suing higher up in order to stop regional plans, because regionalization is the stepping stone to globalization.
You might be on something right here, Ms. Rosa, because we know that globalization is the next thing to being standardized. I hear you.
And globalization is the standardization of all systems.
Yes.
So that includes water.
Great minds think alike. Yes.
Law enforcement, education, energy. All systems have to be brought into harmony in order to control them all.
Exactly.
Because when systems don't meet, when they're out of balance or not in sync with one another, they can't be controlled centrally. And the goal of Agenda 21 is one world government and total control from a central unit.
One world government and total control. One central government. Oh, listen to these. Listen.
America, the United States of America, is really under attack right now. We, in the United States, are, the U.S. landmass is about 2.5 times the size of Europe and has roughly half the population, just over half. That landmass is huge, and about 75% of the population lives in large cities. The goal is to move everyone out of the rural
suburbs,
areas and into the large cities. And to
You hear what she's saying? So I just got a question. Was Martin Luther King a part of this? Wasn't his goal to move us from the rural areas and to move us to the city? Could he have been part of this plan and helping the agenda be fulfilled? I need to know that from my subscribers, those that's watching this right now.
Destroy representative government and to move it into to a more to government by unelected boards and commissions. Now here in the EU, of course, you've already moved to that position where it's an erasure of jurisdictional boundaries, an erasure of national boundaries. And that is the goal because, as Zbigniew Brzezinski said in 1995, you can't just impose globalization pell-mell as a total movement. You have to do it incrementally,
yes.
And the way to do that is through regionalization. And in Denmark,
I like where this is going because I feel as though this is what I've been really thinking about in my mind. I just really needed a validation, and thank you, Rosa, for giving me the validation that the Agenda 21 is put in place for us to be under one world government. I appreciate you for that.
For instance, in Denmark, well, every nation that signed on to Agenda 21 has its local Agenda 21 plan. People in the United States are completely unaware of this.
Yep.
If I go out and talk about this, the United States press attacks me and calls me a conspiracy theorist, which is totally ridiculous. It is a conspiracy, but it's not a theory.
It's a conspiracy, but it's not a theory. There's conspiracy theories, and there's also conspiracy facts. Listen to her.
It's a fact. Here in Europe, it's openly spoken about, local Agenda 21, and of course here in Denmark, the Aalborg Principles, 1994, and then Aalborg Plus 10, 2004, was the European Roundtable for Local Agenda 21 was held here, and the principles are public-private partnerships, which is fascism, and this is how it's implemented. On the ground is through this joining together between corporations, non-governmental organizations, and governments in order to cut out the actual individual, your voter, and instead
your voter. Who are the voters? The people. Listen to her, y'all. She's speaking the truth.
To take that to a level where we literally cannot penetrate. And this is the goal. So this is already far progressed in Europe. The three pillars of United Nations Agenda 21 are economy, ecology, and equity, the three E's.
Economy, equality, and equity. Y'all write that down. I need to write that down too. But I need y'all to write that down for me. Take notes.
Social equity.
And
everyone sort of thinks that they know what that means, the idea of social equity. It must mean that, well, everyone's going to have access to clean water and clean air, and no one's property is going to be used as a dumping ground because they are at a poverty level. But really what social equity is about impoverishing huge portions of the population and bringing down the developed nations. And while this...
They're trying to... I've been saying it so much. Mass population, mass control. They are really trying to make us their slaves. Literally. They're trying to make us like China. They're trying to make us a communist world. It's not going on like that. Thank you, Rosa.
Sounds like, it sounds almost like in the United States, you'd call that a right-wing point of view, a conservative right-wing point of view. I personally am a liberal. The idea that something this drastic, this radical would be happening worldwide without people knowing it. All you have to do is look at austerity measures, restrictions on transfers of wealth, additional restrictions on land use, ability, to produce, to use your energy, your water, your industry. All of this is happening in developed nations. So
we need to focus on certain laws that's finna be getting passed. Cause I feel like what she's speaking, there's certain laws that's finna be passed just for us to fall right in the hands of those who are trying to take over.
When you have your infrastructure attacked like that, it's going to have a tremendous impact on your ability to prosper, as well as the idea that that everything that we're looking at now is destined to collapse our economies, because the idea, this is a corporatocracy. It's a totalitarian state being developed right now all over the world. And what major corporations want in this fascist development is to be able to have full movement of workers without borders or boundaries, to be able to move their goods through without regulations, and to reduce wages. And so this is the goal.
This is the goal. This is the goal. If you knew better, would you do better? I like this.
So this is what you find with social equity. That's code for social equity for this movement and reduction of the population.
Now we know what social equity is. Thank you.
And of course, economy and ecology is about bringing into balance economy. These are the three circles: economy, ecology, and social equity. And where they meet in the center is balance. But really that balance is a communitarian balance. So it's not balance of well-being of the people. What it is it's a balance for corporations so that they can exploit and control and have populations in an area, in tightly packed, dense areas, so that they can be surveilled and managed.
They're trying to pretty much turn us into lab rats. She really just said that in the most simplest form, but I'm going to break it down just a little bit more. They're trying to turn us into their guinea pigs, into their lab rats. This is so frustrating, but I feel like as though if we don't know this, then we can't be prepared. And if we aren't prepared, we're just defeated. So we're going to keep,
And this is what that balance looks like as far as the development of a totalitarian state is.
Thank you.
I think it's very important to know that the people now still have an opportunity to fight.
We do.
All of us across the world understand that our individuality is at stake here.
It is.
Our most important private property is our body.
It is.
And
our most private property. Our most private property is our body and our minds. Listen. Women, most definitely. Pay attention.
And, of course, surveillance is a vital part. Surveillance, domestic surveillance and control is a vital part of this plan. It is a totalitarian plan. But, just like any other extreme plan, while we are moving towards the end game, we are not there. And this is the opportunity that all of us have now to stand up, to speak out, to refuse to collaborate, to refuse to cooperate, to expose collaborators, to work together to defund these plans, to refuse to demand what it is the corporations want to give us.
What the corporation wants to give us. Now, I'm going to let Ms. Rosa catch her breath because she just been dropping off too much knowledge right now. And I feel as though it's time for Big Oso to drop some jewels just as well. So we're going to come back to her if y'all want to see part 2. But y'all got to feel me on this one. I really need y'all to feel me on this one. Because this, like she said, we are heading towards the end game. Like we're really like heading towards that end game. But we have a way of actually stopping it in its tracks if we can come together and figure this out as one. Now, even though they think that harmony can control us in a way, harmony can also do many other things. If one's in harmony, one is a force. If one is in harmony, one is it's a foundation. A harmony moves at a frequency of greatness. So when I feel as though they trying to misuse the word harmony, I feel like they trying to definitely put us in a predicament where they need us to feel vulnerable. They need us to be weakened, but they need us to want them. I feel like that's what they want out of all. I feel like the harmony is what they want. But I know even if they wasn't to get harmony, the need of us needing the government is something that I feel like is going to come before the harmony. As they keep putting more and more laws in play and setting new bills, and as they keep changing the natural parts of life, we will see that there will come to a point, if we do not get our stuff together, where we're going to have to depend on the government. And no, I don't think that it can happen if we were a force, if we were in harmony. I don't think that can happen, because I feel like if we were in harmony, I feel like so many people will actually take the time out to want to want to understand what's really going on. When I'm in harmony, or when I'm in sync with someone, I feel as though I can be influenced in a sense. When I'm in harmony with someone, I feel as though our ideas align. So in order for someone to be in harmony fully, I feel as though the ideology of each individual has to be similar. If not, I don't feel as though there's going to be no harmony. You could want to do this and I can want to do this. Yours can want to be good, mine can want to be bad. Harmony ain't good and bad. Right there, I just feel like that's something different. I feel like that's something different. And until we can even come to the point of understanding what's really going on with the world, we have to now put our shoes on and become prepared of what life has in store for us. Because the whole time, this is becoming a psyop. They are really trying to psychologically transform and transcend our brains into something that has nothing to do with the true purpose or calling of the individual that they're trying to take it from. Like, what I'm trying to say is, it's so much at stake right now. There is so much at stake right now, but there's nothing I feel as though as humans that we can't overcome. And it has been a long road, but it's going to take a lot of melanated individuals to really wake up. Because I feel as though if we were to really become more enlightened and more up to date about, like she said, economics and certain things, I feel as though we can definitely change and help others see the same thing. You know, like that kid, here's an example. I feel like as far as black people and how we can lead, I feel like we're the kids in class that people look at to see what should they do next. And determine on how we move, I think that's how they will make their play. And I feel that, you know, I feel that way. That's my own opinion. You can take it or leave it. And I also feel as though, seeing how melanated individuals have been enslaved mentally, and we have gotten comfortable with that. We have been leading with foolish acts. And in those foolish acts, no one has taken us serious. So I feel as though if we, the superior, not the inferior ones, were to step right and step our game up a lot of people will actually walk with us. In a sense, we should lead by action. Really, I think we can. And I say that to say this because I feel like there's so much that we haven't shown ourselves nor shown each other, that if we really to take the time out and observe the real situation, that we can become something great. And this Agenda 2021 is really something that y'all need to be prepared to understand and get ready to know. I got the 2030 version, but I really want to speak to y'all about a couple things that I read in here that I find very odd, but we're going to talk about that on part 2. Right now, I just really need y'all to function with me. And two last things actually. Until certain individuals are able to come to truth with themselves, as far as coming in as far as actually not thinking with an ego, but thinking with the reality of life, and actually putting their ego aside. If certain individual was to come and actually admit the truths of what was done and how America and damn near part of the world has been developed from the backs of melanated black individuals, from our work, from our efforts, from our blood, sweat, and tears. Until certain people are able to come into the mind of accepting that the world can't really have peace, because for one, we're so quick to not even make aware the real problem, which is we treat people a certain way and have treated people a certain way, to the fact that now we kind of need those same people in a sense. And I just don't want to get too outrageous and just want to talk too crazy, but I really just needed to say that. And I don't want to do too much because I feel like I've been doing too much, but I just really want y'all to know that the world, in a sense, cannot be in harmony until we have certain individuals, and all individuals have took and then the ownership of the things that has been done, whether it's your ancestors, whether it's what you do on a daily. We have to take ownership. We have to. And until then, it's going to always be a divided world in a sense. There's going to be some spots where there's people who have great harmony for one another, but it's all together as one. We will always be divided until we are able to come into the true way of life, and that's owning up to our mistakes, goods and bad. So with that being said, life challenges aren't stumbling blocks, they're building blocks of faith. And I want y'all really to understand that under duress, we do not rise to our expectations, but we fall to our amount of training. So train a little bit harder so you can accomplish a little bit more. And I just want my people to understand that I'm rocking with you, and my goal is to really speak and just help you understand that life is really becoming a movie. And depending on how this movie go, you will have the determining factor of whether or not you survive or become part of something that just not worth becoming part of. I don't really want to do too much. I appreciate y'all, and I really want y'all to understand that character is not what you do for someone. It's what you do for someone that can't do anything for you. That's how you build character. You do for those that can't do anything for you. And what I'm doing is I'm building character with my subscribers, with the people that's watching me, because there is not a damn thing that anyone can do for me that I can't do for myself. But I'm doing this because it's only right. So speak the life you want into existence. Go out there and be great. Go out there and accomplish anything you put your mind to. We are one, as far as that being said. But we still have to understand that things have to be put in play, and it has to start now. And black people, we gotta wake up, cause we need our liberation. We gotta be liberated now. We gotta have our own. We gotta let them do their thing, and we go do our thing. With that being said, I need everybody to hop on board. Hit that like, share, and comment. If you function with this video, come back to this video. We all know that this world is ran by certain individuals, and those individuals have a certain power that can control every aspect of your life if you let it. Literally. So with that being said, I ain't really got too much to say. If y'all want to see part 2, come back, because I got part 2. This was just part 1. But until next time, don't be fooled by the clown. A wise man can play a fool, but a fool can never play a wise man. Knowledge speaks, wisdom listens. I am who I am, and who I am not, I never pretend to be. Therefore, I am who I am. And I want you to know you great, I'm great, and that you gotta believe in the small things. Believe in small dreams and big miracles. I ain't got too much to say. I'm out, little bitty bitty bit.